is what happens when you are extracting a tooth without a plan, without strategy. Going into an extraction and not thinking about what could be the ramifications of an extraction gone wrong. When it happens in the aesthetic zone, we call it an aesthetic disaster or an aesthetic nightmare. I don't want anybody to have this problem because it takes away your energy, stresses you out, it puts you at a risk of legal liability, and you have an upset patient. No patient, no matter how young or old they are, want to walk around with part of their jaw missing, period. It's going to be a restorative nightmare in terms of interproximal tissue, depending on this patient's smile line. It's going to be a hygiene problem, and what we need to think about is how to prevent the collapse to begin with. And it starts at the time of the extraction. You want to have a plan. You want to have a certain strategy. For example, simple things like an anti-collapse extraction technique that leaves part of the root on the buccal there while extracting the palatal aspect, and that keeps the contour of the tooth. It's not as complicated. It's just you just need to be aware of it and you need to know the technique. Things like using biologics, using sticky bone, soft tissue management, not closing the flap primarily. You want secondary intention healing with extractions. Otherwise, you might get these types of issues. Identifying the risk factors, identifying the aesthetic risks. So there are a lot of things out there or mistakes dentists are making that cause ridges to collapse. And we already shared with you the disaster prevention checklist in the aesthetic zone that went through 10 different mistakes, why they happen, and how we can tackle them, because this is going to be tough to manage. If I had to treat this case now, I would probably start by creating a better contour where the concave surface is. I would probably try to plump it up with bone and soft tissue to, for the very least, get a straight contour, maybe a little bit of a convex contour, to give a better emergence profile for the pontic. I would probably advise against an implant. I would stick with a fixed prosthetic with some gingival ceramics. And to be aware of all of these mistakes is going to make you a better diagnostician and a better clinician, and you're going to prevent some of those disasters. And this is why we created a webinar that is called How to Prevent Disasters in the Aesthetic Zone and Develop Ridges that you can be proud of, that you can be happy about, and your patient as well. And having the planning and the strategy to prevent this. There's a button where you can sign up for our upcoming webinar on that topic, how to prevent these types of disasters and others. And I'm going to give you a system to prevent collapse. We call it the anti-collapse extraction system, or the ACE system. And I'm going to share with you the common mistakes that cause these disasters, how to overcome them, and I'm going to introduce you to the ACE system. So click the button below and join us at the upcoming training.